on.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dungeon of the Mad Mage. This is episode 28. Session 28. I don't say episode for...
It's not 28.
Dungeon.
128?
128! Fuck off. It's been a while. Let's go ahead and jump into...
Give or take 100.
Let's jump into a little bit of a recap.
Good, I'm gonna need this.
Previously...
I made it to memory. It's locked in.
In the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, the party had defeated the bullywug assassin Torbit, destroying the last vestiges of Yurk, the Lord of Fetid Obliteration's reign of terror. Torbit's body was warped, mutated by the dark energies he had been given dominion over and failed to control. He wore on his person several strange snake bone fetishes. But more alarming still was the kukri of solid black plunged into his back. When Ezrah magically identified the blade, the party found it to be a powerful weapon, though one whose power might come with a catch. The party then discussed...
I don't recall that part.
What their next step would be. The door to the inner sanctum of the temple was in sight, but Bones could find no obvious way inside. To make matters worse, the party had no idea what might lie in store for them within, and the battles with Yurk and Torbit had sapped their resources. Ultimately, they decided they should be cautious. Yurk, Torbit, and Zartem were dead. The immediate threats handled. They would rest and return prepared. The party exited the temple with Torbit's body in tow, returning to the awaiting new generation. The bullywugs solemnly took the assassin's body, though they removed the fetishes and returned them to the party, stating they held an evil power akin to the Sethian scourges themselves. The party and the new generation then returned to the Black Tongue's territory. News of the defeat of Yurk and his lieutenants spread like wildfire, and the Black Tongue tribe began to openly celebrate their liberation. Torbit was given a hero's funeral, and it was as if the past year of terror was suddenly washed away from the tribe. The party faded briefly with their allies, but knew that there were still yet more dangers within the swamp, and elsewhere besides. Dangers that would not wait patiently on them. So, the party excused themselves and rested, binding their wounds and restoring their energy before heading back to the temple of the Vrail Olo, intent on discovering a method of defeating the Sethian scourges. Their arrival at the temple was met with no fanfare, and as they sought a way through the door into the inner sanctum, they found their efforts fruitless. There was a missing fang and a statue that seemed of interest, but the party could not find a replacement or figure out how to open the door. Deciding to take a different approach, Matashtai headed outside and onto the roof of the temple, hoping to find a way in through the decay or crumbling of the structure itself. And he succeeded in doing just that, finding a dark opening above the sanctum itself. After reporting to the rest of the party, the group made their way onto the roof of the temple. Matashtai dropped a torch into the darkness only to find that something blocked its passage. Ashes joined the monk, and after they both were unable to pass through it, the Lycan decided to randomly hold the Yuan-Ti holy symbol they had found in Yurk's hoard down to the darkness, causing it to vanish, and the two of them to drop within.
But I didn't expect it to work.
Ashes managed to catch himself at the last moment, and Matashtai, being a fucking monk, landed gracefully inside, unharmed. They had made their way into the inner sanctum, and after a few brief moments, the entire party was able to make their way down. There they found a black candle upon an altar and a winged serpent statue with strange holes carved into its head. Ezrah immediately began to incant, hoping to detect any foul magics that might accost the party, but curiosity got the better of his allies. They began to investigate the statue and the altar, eventually triggering some sort of mechanism or spell. Appearing out of nowhere came 2 serpentine abominations. They immediately attacked, and the party defended themselves. But after the battle with Yurk, with Torbit, after Xanathar, after the many battles the party had faced, these 2 guardian snakes were of little threat. Swiftly dispatched, the party once more found themselves alone within the temple. Their investigations of the altar and the statue proved to have little insight into what they would need to do next. Ultimately, their next move came from the fetishes they had taken off of Torbit's corpse. While they had rested, Ezrah had determined that the objects were powerful relics, probably designed to help defeat the Sethian scourges. Bones proffered that perhaps these were the objects that their Yuan-Ti counterparts had been missing when they had fought Hexa Colli in the memory fragment. He suggested they return once more to the memory, this time armed with what had been missing, to see if the memory righted itself or otherwise changed. Perhaps it would show them new information. So, after attuning to the fetishes, the party made their way back to the memory fragment and once again hurled themselves into the past. But this time, as their consciousness awoke within the Vrail, they did not feel weak or exhausted. They felt strong, whole, prepared. On this day, Hexa Colli would fall. And that's where we fade into our scene. So, let me drop you guys onto the map. And go ahead and get this thing going.
Do these
So-
characters also get, like, the +1 and stuff?
So they would all get the +1, but all of their stats are even, so the +1 does nothing for them on an individual basis, so we don't have to worry about that. But they do absolutely get the resistance to cold,
resistance.
the immunity to mind control, and the regeneration. Okay? So
yeah.
do keep that in
regen's
mind,
really
because
good.
I probably will not remember for you.
So it's
We also get the-
+5 on the beginning of your turn, right?
Do we also get the 5% chance to be stunned? Or
No,
is it
you
'cause
do
now
not,
we're snake-
because
no,
they
we're snake
are
people?
the Vrail, and these are made for them.
Yeah,
The
that makes
5% chance to stun is for those that are not of Seth's brood.
Makes sense to me.
So,
Servants
Um,
of Dendar.
Yeah, that's a good question though. When does the 5 HP happen? It just says per turn. Is it the beginning or the end?
it is at the beginning of your turn. Yeah. At
Okay.
the beginning of your turn, you regenerate 5 HP as long as you are not dead or unconscious, I believe is what it says.
Yes, sir.
And as long as nothing's been done to you. Like, as long as Ezrah doesn't out of nowhere, like, tag you with a chill touch or some shit, you know? So,
Ooh, that's an idea.
I don't think you can reach between the past and the present like that, but, you know, just throwing the hypothetical out there. Anyways,
Can I just add a chill touch to the Nightmare Speaker?
No, you
Just
may
to-
not. Okay, that being said, I need everyone to select their tokens and roll for initiative, because it's...
Are we the
it's-
same people?
Yeah, you are all the same people, yep.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Alright.
Sorry, I didn't have the window open. I must have closed it by accident.
My goodness.
I'm on it.
The audacity.
He's on it. Okay,
The capacity.
Ezrah, as, what are you, a nightmare speaker? Yeah, you're a nightmare speaker. So Ezrah, the nightmare speaker, is the first to act. Once again, right, like you all feel that scenario. You realize you have pressed through. Many of your brethren have died to get you here. Hexa Colli is now just laughing, right, in this kind of like little battle lust, bloodlust kind of scenario. She's killed many people already. And she holds no fear towards you. You are just more husks for her to create. Ezrah, you're up.
I reach out, calling to Dendar, my faithful deity,
Love
and
Dendar,
I invoke Nightmare.
Invoke nightmare. Okay, what do we
Invoke it.
got?
Intelligence save, DC 13.
Intelligence save, DC 13. We do not have a good situation for that. So, 14.
Oh.
Just rolled okay. Okay, so what does that do? Anything on a fail or anything on a success?
Success means doesn't happen, is my understanding. That is
Yep.
the end of my go.
Yep. Okie dokie. So Ezra attempts to strike Hexacolli's mind with a vision of some sort of nightmare, right? But the Spirit Naga is unaffected. It is able to power through Dindar's capabilities, or Seth's capabilities. Dindar, Seth, they do both. Anyways, Ezra is done. Hexacolli is going to laugh her snake-like laugh, her hiss, and she's going to... she will immediately, in kind of response, she will Eyes of the Frost you, Ezra. So here's this. A 28 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
You are
Giving you eyes.
You are resistant,
We're resistant.
to cold damage,
So
so you
6
only
damage.
take 6. And as that happens, right, like she covers the ground. She, gazes at you. You feel this kind of like, you see rays of blue shoot out of her eyes, and you actually feel this, chill take over your body. You would become vulnerable, but since you are resistant, you are now just neutral, right, against cold. And she is gonna, come in and try to attack you with her Fangs of Frost. And I don't think that hits.
That misses.
Nope.
It's a miss,
That
big
is
old
a
miss.
Fortunate miss.
And
Yeah,
then
that looked like it hurt.
right, it would have looked like it hurt. She's going to. What is her passive perception? Her passive perception is a 12.
On the low.
Roll me a no. We're not gonna do that. I'm gonna do an insight check. Okay. Hexacolli knows that her Eyes of Frost did not hurt you as much as they should have, right? And she kind of like rears back a little bit after missing you with the Frostfang, and she kind of like considers you for a second, and then the tone, like her entire tone, shifts slightly as she kind of begins to look around her at all 4 of you. Matashtai, you're up next.
All right. I charge forward. My snaky body.
Snakey.
And then I uppercut slash with my scimitar.
Scimitar. Ooh, I don't think that's
17
quite
hit.
17 does not hit. Do recall, right, like, with the Spirit Nagas, it's, like she has an after image at all times, right? So it is disadvantage on your attack, except you are flanking, so it would be straight normal, and the 17 just doesn't quite hit.
I angrily bite her in the tail.
Biter, yeah. Oh,
Biter tail.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
damn,
you
never-
Nine
tried
is
to,
definitely
you
a
tried
I
no.
to.
don't do shit.
Damn. It's okay, chest gill man. I believe in you.
I'll get her next time. My gills will be ready.
All right. Is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
Ashes, you're up.
I step up.
Snake head, snake head.
Step up.
Step up. And I also have a scimitar. And I'm going to slash. 20.
Yeah.
20 hits. Yep, absolutely.
For 9 damage.
9
pull back again.
damage.
And for
Oh.
10.
That's a miss.
And I sink my teeth into the wound I just put in. Just
Ay, that hurts.
Oh.
20 hits.
Chumps.
for she's resistant to poison, so that's going to be 5/9.
Yeah.
Right.
She's resistant?
She
Yeah,
is
she's
resistant to poison. Yeah.
Oh, I thought she was just straight immune. That's good news.
Nope. Just
So-
resistant.
So 18 damage total in turn.
Okay. So Matashtai steps forward, flanking her. Asha steps forward, flanking her, and now she is fully surrounded, right? And you begin to all lash out at her, and she is still kind of like caught in that bloodlust of not caring whether she dies because she's immortal, right? But on that 25, seeing that Ezrah was somewhat resistant to the cold, right? She is considering different battle tactics as she fights you all now. Bones, you're up.
All right. So, how tall is she? How big is she?
She is probably close to 15 to 20 feet long, right? So she uses the majority of that as a base. So when she curls up, she's maybe 8 to 10 feet up in the air at the top of her head.
Okay. And all
So
of her
not
stuff.
significantly taller than you.
And all of her stuff comes from her head/face.
It seems to.
Okay. What I would like to do is, I would like to try and climb up her body
Okay.
and loop my snake arms under her chin.
Are you gonna Shadow of Colossus her?
Yeah, because I have shitty ass snake arms. So
Okay.
I want to try to loop my snake arms under
Alright.
her chin, so
Sure.
I can yank up.
Yeah. You're okay. So let's try two things. I'm thinking you're gonna need to make some sort of like dex or like some sort of acrobatics or athletics, right? To scrabble up onto her, right?
Okay.
And then while you're up there, you're gonna need to probably do like an athletics check to kind of like, she's gonna be fighting you to move her head where she wants to move her head, and you're gonna have to try to move it away, right? Like you're straining to pull it a different direction. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so I think the initial DC is probably not gonna be too terribly hard. 14.
I rolled a 12.
She's whipping about, snaking all over the place. It's doable, but as you go to try initially, right? Like she kind of like whaps you or just slithers out of the way, and you can't get up on her.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you have multiple attacks?
I got 2 attacks.
I will say that each of these is kind of like a grapple check, so you could use that as a first attempt if you want to go again.
Sick. I'd like to try and scrabble up her again.
Roll again. DC 14.
I rolled a 7.
Nope. Okay.
Well, just like the first time, Snake Arm Man is the worst one.
Only because of your roll.
I mean, I didn't do anything either, Zach.
I know. It's just, the first time I was like, I got Snake Arm!
A Snake Arm!
And then
I don't
I
think-
was just dead.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, novel idea, and maybe it will work, but it will not work this time around. Back to the top of the round. Ezra, you're up.
Seeing that my deity did not do as I asked,
It's
I
like,
take matters into my own hands
do it.
and pull out my scimitar and take a slash.
Slash.
Oh, yeah, cut him up.
Does a 19 hit?
A 19 is her AC.
And then I Deathfang her.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah. Don't forget to roll your actual attack damage as well.
Yeah, I didn't realize it didn't have that. Oh, damn it, Jeremy, why don't you have an auto roll? This is my life.
I think that's just how the sheets were auto set up, honestly.
Right, that's
I didn't
that's
change
what
it
we got.
that
Unless you
much.
land the hit.
Okay.
You don't get to roll the damage dice unless you do damage.
So 23, so 6 slashing and
Yeah.
17 necrotic.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, she'll even in her kind of like fuck it, I don't care kind of mentality, she's still kind of like writhes and hisses in fury at a hit like that, right? Like, that hurts. Anything
And
else?
as I distract her with that, my tail flicks around, trying to wrap around her neck. Does a 9 hit?
Oh, it does not. It hurts to see that 25. Oh, no. Okay, cool.
That is my
Gotcha.
go.
That is the end for Ezra. You all are slowly but surely hurting Hexa Colli, and
Did you get your
Um,
5 back at the beginning
Yeah,
of
if you
your
were
turn, Jake?
hurt, make
oh
sure you
yeah,
heal.
Jake,
Oh,
don't forget to
thank
heal
you,
your 5.
Thank you.
Ooh, which let's see if she notices that. I'm
Yeah,
just
she can
gonna-
mind her own business.
roll.
Yeah, mind your business.
She's a little occupied right now. She a little occupied.
Mind your business.
Okay,
That's
so
snake arm gentleman trying to climb up her back.
Fuck it, bitch.
okay, she is. Yeah, she doesn't give. Right now, she doesn't give 2 shits about y'all's situation. So, she pulls away from you, Bones.
Oh, dude, I get to snake arm attack.
Snake arm attack.
Yeah, 24. Yeah,
So 24 does actually hit. Absolutely.
I fucking did it. Bite. Oh, hold on. This is the first time I hit it. I get more damage. Hold on.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
suck it. Poison, baby.
So that's another 9 on top of the 7.
So it would.
Yeah!
What it would be is it would actually it might not matter, but it would total all of the poison damage and then reduce that poison.
Okay, so that would be
11 poison.
11.
Okay.
11 plus 5.
Very
Assuming
nice.
she isn't resistant to the piercing.
No, she is not.
Yeah,
So
snake. You got snaked, bro.
your snake arms bite into her back as she flees. And
That no good.
she's gonna move out of Matashtai as well.
Go.
So Matashtai, you have an attack of opportunity if you would so choose.
Where the fuck is she going?
Slash.
She's going to like Cone of Coldest or some bullshit.
That's a big whiff.
I do not slash.
So yeah, we got 1.
Yeah, she does have cold.
Ezra, she is going to leave your threat range as well.
21.
21.
Yeah.
As she is leaving your threat. No, actually,
She
it
is
doesn't matter.
grappled.
Yeah.
She is grappled.
She
and
is grappled.
restrained.
So, yeah,
Hey
roll
here.
your damage.
God damn it, Jeremy. Fucking.
Okay.
Got it.
Gotcha.
Have a good night.
She is a large or smaller creature. Okay. So she is now restrained. She does not like that. She was absolutely trying to get a way to like be able to cone of cold all of you. She can't do that now, so she's just gonna cone of cold Ezra and Bones because Ezra's the one
Sorry.
grappling her. So
2 is better than all.
2 is
I hit
better
her
than 1.
once,
Yes,
which is
absolutely.
much better than last time.
Also, real quick, Ezra, do me a favor, make a Constitution saving throw for me, to see if you're still chilled.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so chill.
I do
Bro,
not have a
chill.
16.
You are no longer chilled,
Oh my god.
which is
Bro, he's
very
not
nice.
fucking Chill.
Yeah,
He's
she
got no
doesn't. She
chill.
doesn't look very chill. I'm just gonna throw that out there. She looks a little stick
It's-
up her butt.
very. I'm sure you would much rather take the.
Be resistant. Yes.
Yeah, be
Yes,
resistant
that
in
is
this
accurate.
particular instance. So
Yeah, I fucking did it.
yeah, Constitution saving throws from both of you. Okay, you both succeed, and you're both resistant, so that takes it from, what is that? That would be
Half
36
so it should be
is
9.
18
9,
down to 9.
Nine.
Yes.
18 down to 9. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you both get hit with 9. Hexa Colli, right, is
Oof.
used to...
Oh no, that's
Hexa-
killing everything.
Hexa Colli is used to unleashing primal shards of ice and snow onto her enemies and literally seeing them like freeze solid and then shatter them, right?
Fatality.
You guys are barely even inconvenienced by this. And when she sees that, you see her demeanor change a bit, right? Like, and she kind of like hisses out in a language that you all do speak now, but normally would not speak. She hisses out in freaking, I think it's in Yuan-Ti actually. I don't know if it's Yuan-Ti or if it's Abyssal.
Language
It's one of
of
those.
Yuan-Ti, just Yuan-Ti.
I
It's
don't.
either Abyssal or Draconic.
Okay.
I don't
So-
remember. which
Wani.
is.
So she hisses out something along the lines of, "So you came prepared. It doesn't matter. Even if you..." And then something out of, because they're still fighting, like, in the periphery around you, right? Like, something out of the crowd, like, gets lobbed and hits her in the side of the head, and she just kind of, like, turns, like, her monologue kind of, like, cut off momentarily. She kind of, like, just
Damage.
turns and hisses, like, she's really gonna find whoever the fuck that was and kill them later on. But not right now. Now she's got to deal with y'all. So, Matashtai, you're up.
I shift around. Behind.
Behind me?
And I flunk.
Okay.
Slish!
Slish.
Slish. Yeah, slish.
That is
Cut
a
her
hit.
up, cut her up, cut her up,
He
baby.
is
Oh, yeah.
restrained.
Oh, that.
Oh, yes,
Does
indeed.
that, does that help even
then I'm-
more? I don't.
I'm also
I
gonna
think
mind.
it's just gonna give him advantage, I think, which he already has
Yeah.
because of the flanking.
Yeah. Cancels
Okay,
out.
Yep.
Just means we wouldn't have to point.
I just couldn't tell
I'm
which
gonna-
one was which, so.
I'm gonna
I mean,
mind fanger. I'm mind fanging.
mind
Mind fang.
fang.
Oh, that's a good mind fang.
Oh God, it's sucked
What
right
do
in
you
your
mean
brain.
That's a good mind fang. That is as close to perfect as it could be without being a perfect roll.
That's true.
And
That's
right in the
psychic
brain
damage,
place.
right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah, she shrieks, just horribly shrieks, as you slash into her, and as you do, there's just kind of like there's this image of the night serpent that rears past you and sinks. You know, it's all just apparition, but it sinks its fangs into her as well. She just shrieks and tosses her head.
As the apparition is biting, I lunge forward in the apparition's wake and bite
Oh,
the same
shit.
spot.
Double up,
Goodbye.
My anaconda
That's a hit.
don't.
My
bite.
God, you guys are rolling well. Holy fuck!
The dice should reward good, like, attack narration.
This is so counter to the last time you guys fought her. Like,
We all got one
even-
We're both dead already.
Even without, like, here's the thing. Even if you guys didn't, right, have the fetishes, you would still be kicking her ass right now because you are rolling really well. This
Yo,
is
that
not what
3D
happened last time.
a 3d10 though. Oh wait, that's
But we
not.
also had a third of our health last time, too.
That's true. Okay. Anything else for you to Matashtai?
No. I'm holding on. I'm like, "Arr."
Arr.
Ashes,
the
you're
water.
up.
If I wanted to stand here, could I do so?
Yeah.
Okay, I will
We're
do.
allowed to leave? Wow.
Well, I'm gonna.
This
go around-
entire
I'm gonna-
area is technically, I mean, I will say, like, there's like hand-to-hand combat all around you,
Mhm.
right? Like, so going too far is like a no-no, but
Ah. Oh,
15
no.
minutes.
Oh, yeah, we have normal, sorry. Yeah, 24.
15, big miss, 24, big hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hunch.
She is not happy.
That's a miss.
A 7 is a miss. Okay, Bones, you're up. You guys are you see her covered in wounds now. You're whittling her down.
Okay. I flank with my boy, Snake Bro.
You guys got her in the square formation. Snake bro.
Snake. I say yes, Nightmare Speaker. And then I go to biting. Rah.
What are you? You're the
Ah.
pitmaster. Gotcha.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Turn over.
Oh no. Okay, top of the round. Ezra, you have constricted Hexa Colli, right? You've wrapped your snake tail, the lower half of you, around her, grappling and restraining her, which, also grapples you at the same time, basically. But, who cares at that particular point? What do you want to do?
I'm gonna continue to squeeze,
Squeeze.
first and foremost.
Squeeze her. Oh, no, you don't.
Please confirm that critical, good sir. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna say that she gets a free check to try to get out of your constriction in this moment. Okay.
Sounds good.
So what's the DC on it? It's a DC 14.
14.
So she
I assume
is-
athletics or acrobatics.
She is going to make an acrobatics check because she is way more acrobatic than she is athletic. So,
Really? Good lord.
yeah. So
Scout.
as you you ripple your muscles, you're trying to position yourself to where you can actually squeeze down on her throat, causing her some sort of harm. But in doing so, you have to position yourself in a particular way that, for a
sees
brief
weakness
moment,
and-
allows Hexa Colli to just throw off your constriction. So she is no longer constriction, so no longer grappled or restrained, but you still have her flanking. It's still your turn. What do you want to do?
I flail with my scimitar in response.
Flail! Oh
Nope.
no.
Negatory.
The good rolls have suddenly died now.
Jeremy talked us up too
Said
much, and he
something.
just sapped our energies.
Oh,
That's my
no.
go.
Okay, well, Hexa Colli is seeing a lot of shit happen. So you see her begin to, she lifts up her head, and you see her eyes suddenly, go from that bluish, piercing cold into a kind of almost fiery red, and you see lines up the side of her. These patterns begin to glow red as well, as she hisses in abyssal, and seems to cast something, but you're not sure what.
Counterspell.
Haha! You actually have counterspell? I have no idea whether the Nightmare Speaker has counterspell or anything.
I don't think I have any spells.
I
don't have anything listed,
don't
so-
think you normally had counterspell. I took off all the spells on all of the special classes because that's just gonna be too much shit for everyone to start doing Hunger of Hadar and random fucking shenanigans.
So I
Look,
counterspell.
I could have had Hunger of Hadar.
I don't know. I'm just throwing out random tentacly things. She casts, and that is the end of her turn. Also, again, I think Ezra and maybe Bones, don't forget to regenerate at the top of your turn.
I actually would have had Counterspell.
I
That's really
definitely
funny.
forgot.
Would you have had counterspell? Do Pitmasters
Yeah.
have that? Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Hex Colli is done. Matashtai, you're up.
I commence the slashing again.
Commence the slashing. Okay.
I miss.
That is
so I
a
bite.
miss.
Oh yeah, and then I double fanger.
Okay, so as you reach out and bite into her, right as your fangs are contacting her side, you see a flash of red and a streak of flame shoot out from her as her fire shield that she just cast procs against you.
You
So
shits.
So you take 7 fire damage.
I take the damage and continue biting, and then summon the Mind Fang.
The Mind Fang.
Damn it, Jeremy! I would have had chill touch if you gave me my spells.
That's funny.
Eldritch Blast. Oh, you looked
Yeah,
it
but
up?
she's not regenerating. You would have just been chill touching your allies.
Is that the end of my turn I regenerate, or at the
Beginning of your turn, you regenerate.
Okay.
Okay, so that is
All right.
16. Okay,
What are so
Um,
many options other than
Hexa
stick arm?
Colli is looking real fucked up. Ashes, you're up.
Okay. All right. Big damage. That's not gonna happen.
That's a big miss.
Big hit, but that's not gonna hit. Oh wait, I didn't mean that. Nope, ignore that. That was not the bite. I meant the bite.
Bite.
God.
Ay, ay, ay. No hits all around. Okay, we're back to Bones.
Oh, it's me.
Bones.
I got snake arms.
He's got
Snakes,
the
snakes.
arms.
It's starting to go bad.
A 20 hits.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, ta-da!
Hey.
Okay.
I'll roll my
You
second
take-
3d10 for the day. I know I take a bunch of damage.
You take 12 fire damage.
Woo. Okay, well you take 27 halved, so 13 plus 6, 19 damage. And then for my second attack...
Your arms streak out and
That was
begin
12.
to bite into Hexacoli's flesh. And you realize, right, her form, she's having trouble breathing from the copious amount of poison that's been pumped into her, right? She's covered in cuts, and she's kind of like bleeding out of orifices, this thick black sludge from the psychic damage and the necrotic damage, right? And as you lash out at her, the myriad little snake heads
snakes.
upon your arms just like biting into her, right? It's the straw that breaks the camel's back kind of scenario, right? You push Hexacoli over the edge, and you realize that she is in that kind of moment of dying, and she rears back her head, and she just begins to laugh hysterically, knowing that she is immortal, and that you have done nothing but slain a mortal form of hers, and she will regenerate in a number of days, and then she will come and claim your lives at that point.
Okay.
But
As the pit speaker, I say, now is the time! And I don't know what to do, but pit speaker knows what to do. Pitmaster.
Pitmaster, actually, very, very apt that the Pitmaster is making this particular call.
I then whisper into everyone's minds, yes.
as the Pitmaster, the Nightmare Speaker, proclaim it, or sorry, the Pitmaster. Are you a Nightmare Speaker? Is that what you are?
Mind Whisperer.
Sorry, as the Pitmaster and the White Mind Whisperer proclaim it. Yes, Nightmare Speaker, you do realize it is now time, and in that moment, Ezrah loses control. And we go into more of a cinematic as the minds of the Vrail Olo that you inhabit their bodies, right? Like those minds begin to come to the fore. You see the figure that is Ezrah reach behind her into a satchel and pull out a jar that you have seen 3 of before. The jars that were underneath the altar. But this one has runes up the side of it. And it has a catch, a cap kind of dangling off of its side. And as that happens, the Nightmare Speaker begins to incant, and all of the rest of the Vrail begin to incant. Even some of the ones that are fighting around you stop, turn, and begin to chant. And as this happens, there is a brief pause. A momento.
Pause.
Go to this. As Hexacoli, right? Her hysterical laughter is suddenly drowned out by the chanting of all of you, right? Of the Vrail. And you see her hear this. Stop. Her form slumps. She's still in her death throes. And she looks at the nightmare speaker. And her head kind of turns, it tilts. And she says, "What is?" And her eyes go wide. And she screams, "No!" And as she does, there is this sudden vacuum out of the head of the jar. And you see Hexacolli's flesh begin to peel off of her. These scales, her snakeskin, rip off and disappear down into the jar. She is a mass of bleeding muscle and bone, and it continues to suck and pull, stripping flesh and gore off of her. Her eyes go, and it is a horrific few moments until there is nothing left of Hexacolli aside from her bones.
Man, the Ghostbuster chapter.
Except only her flesh.
As the ritual has been enacted, Ezrah, the nightmare speaker, slams the seal on top of the soul jar, sealing Hexacolli's immortal soul within the jar, so that she cannot regenerate any longer. Now, all of you know, the Vrail, everything is going as according to plan. Now all you have to do is destroy Hexacolli's new form. So, I need...
You swapped and I didn't even notice.
I need everyone to select their tokens and re-roll initiative, because we're going again, baby!
Okay,
So-
I have some questions before we go again.
What's your questions?
Was there anything in the jar, Ezra? Maybe like, I don't know, it was coated with wax or something on the inside?
There will be more after the break.
Oh, we're gonna get details.
You're gonna get more details. Yeah.
Okay, I don't have to. We don't have to suss.
Yeah,
it out.
you don't have to suss more stuff out. Like you just go to the next part.
Okay.
Moving on. So, first things first.
So this one was supposed to be a lot worse,
Yeah.
right?
Well, you know.
It's
So,
supposed to be.
Supposed to be. All right. Can't wait.
I mean, it's still alive.
Worse as in better for us, or worse as in worse for her?
Stronger. Like
Yes.
I was under the impression that the people that we're trying to deal with in the scourges right now, like if we figure out a way to strip them of their immortality, they become even more monstrous.
They do, but you have been told specifically, right? That Hexacolli, or rather the Queen of Bones, is as she is now in the present day because she was not slain. She was given time to grow and become stronger in her new form.
Okay, so
You have to train them.
becoming the new form doesn't necessarily mean you're stronger. It's that she gained a new
That's
form
how
and then over time
Learns.
Yes.
accrued strength.
Absolutely.
Come on, level up.
Okay.
She adapted.
She gained experience points again.
Yes. Got that.
Understood.
Got that.
Wagata.
Wagata.
Well, I got
Yokai.
Wagata.
Sumimasen. Tadaima.
Okay.
Been watching Jujutsu Kaisen, and I just saw the Panda versus Mechamaru fight, which is pretty cool.
Anda.
Anda!
The drumming.
My best friend.
Oh, dude, you are in for a treat soon.
Honestly, yeah. Best friendo.
Best friend.
Brother! Go, my brother.
My best friend.
Okay, so, as this new battle begins, Colli, the Bone Naga, is your new opponent, and how fitting. Matashtai, what is your dexterity, and Ashes, what is your dexterity?
Ashes or Malison?
The Malison. What your current form?
14.
What was that? What was Mitch's?
14.
14.
Rollies!
Cool Roshi thing.
Rolly!
You know what? We're just gonna do this based off of cinematic here. Okay, actually, you know what?
Nah!
That was fate. You know why? Because after the Nightmare Speaker completes the ritual, sealing Hexacolli's immortal soul into the soul jar, right? After that moment, Ashes, the Malazan, draws the ritual dagger that has been prepared for this very purpose, blessed by Seth and Dendar, coated in a poison that will weaken the Bone Naga's defenses. Ashes, you should have a new attack on your character sheet.
I do. I have Dagray.
Dang, Dagray?
I got Dagray.
Is that akin to rapier?
Yeah. Or Scimitar.
It's a Scimitar.
Scimitar. It's
But
a Scimitar.
do you see what it does?
Piercing damage plus poison damage. Target's AC is reduced by 5.
I really prefer Pole A.
What's the other part?
10. Oh, sorry. Or 10 if Bone Naga.
So,
That's
this dagger
very,
that has been
very
ritually blessed by Seth and Dendar
Wait.
is specially designed to fuck over Bone Nagas in particular, but it does
Can
just
we reset time if we win this fight?
We can make this dagger.
So,
This is the day we can make this dagger.
So, you see before you, Ashes, you see this immense bone form, and the Vrail have prepared for this moment. You know, after having destroyed the Spirit Naga form, that the Bone Naga form, more hulking, more formidable, right? And far harder to hurt. But if you can only get a blow in, you can enchant this creature and make things far easier for your allies. So, it is your turn.
Don't fuck up.
Multi-attack. 23.
Miss!
Oh, yeah, the last one.
Miss! And a 23 beats the Bone Naga's AC of 22.
Good lord.
Remember, by the way, as you hear and see everything that you're dealing with right now, this is the newly born, newly formed version of the Queen of Bones. Not
Okay.
her
The one. Yeah.
not her grown, not her more powerful version.
Is she also resistant to poison in bone form?
Yes, she is. She retains her resistances.
So that is 7 damage and AC reduced by 10.
Actually, she's sorry. In bone form, she's immune to poison, right? But the dagger's enchantment works nonetheless because it's specifically designed for this purpose. But she doesn't take the poison. She just takes the piercing, and her AC is now -10 for 1 minute.
In turn.
And that is the end of your turn. And it's Matashtai. You see, right, as your ally, as planned, as prepared, the Nightmare Speaker finishes the ritual, and the Malazan, the carrier of the ritual dagger, steps forward, swings, misses, thrusts, misses, rears back and throws himself bodily onto the Bone Naga so that he just can't miss, and just drags the dagger down the side of some of her rib bones. And you see her entire form right there. There's a series of runes that appears around her, and it's nothing, like her bones don't crack, nothing happens to her, but there's this brief, almost kind of like, almost as if she just diminishes slightly, right? It's your turn.
A little bit slower, a little bit easier to hit.
A little bit of a lot of things, yeah.
Damn, R.
I
Kelly got sense.
Shoryuken with my scimitar up her body.
Shoryuken.
Yeah, easy hit. Y'all are rolling all the 20s now.
At the apex of my scimitar slash, I bite down on one of her top rib cage.
Nice.
Things.
15 hits. 7 piercing.
I'm hanging.
And you're out of like mind fangs, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't got no mind fangs.
Ay. Okay. Ezra, you're up.
I again am going to flick my tail out in an attempt to restrict. Her AC's 12.
Her
now,
AC
right?
is 12, and you do have advantage because she does not have glamour in her Bone Naga form. She just has a way higher AC normally. So 18 hits. That is 11 bludgeoning, and she is restricted.
And I'm going to have a pulse of necrotic damage pulsate from the spikes on my tail from my death fang.
Someone is not out of fangs yet. Nice, very nice. 19. This creature rears back, and you see the jaw, right? It opens, it flexes as if screaming, but the creature can make no sound, right?
And then I flick my scimitar in her general direction for
Cha-cha-cha, that's a hit.
Got no
and I take the 5 healing from the start of the turn.
Very, very nice. Very,
I
very
forgot
nice.
to do that.
End of my turn.
All right. Very good. It is Hexacolli's turn. Hexacolli is going to do a couple of different things. The first thing that she is going to do is you have her restrained and grappled, so she's basically going to... I mean, you already have her grappled in a coil, so she's just going to coil you back, basically. So...
disadvantage.
She will be doing so at disadvantage. So, coil... Oop, I don't have that turned on in a momento. Disadvantage, coil. Ooh. The miss. So she tries to wrap her serpentine spine back around you and crunch on you as you were crunching on her. But she is unable to do so. In frustration, she will rear back, and you can see, right, no longer, there's no flesh, there's no place for these things to hide anymore. She just has 2 massive fangs that are you can see are actually kind of like disconnected from her skeleton, right? They're just magically there. They rear out whenever she opens her jaw to bite. And she bites at disadvantage. Still Ezra.
How could she bite?
25 disadvantage. Crazy.
25.
That hits.
What roll?
9 piercing damage.
Wasn't even that good of a roll. 17. Well, 17's pretty good.
Is a +8 on her bite.
It's not like that much.
Okay. Anyways. Bones, you're up.
Plus 12? Yeah. Okay, well, okay, I will just go to Snakin because I'm actually supposed to be a caster, but don't have any spells to cast. Snakin.
Welcome to all of the others. Welcome to the Nightmare Speaker. Welcome to the Mind Whisperer.
I understand it's equal across the board. I'm a big champion of equity.
20 and 21, both hit. 7 piercing, 6 piercing. Okay.
That's it. We did it.
Ezrah, Nightmare Speaker. You feel someone tugging on your arm, right? And you see a face, right? You recognize this individual as one of the acolytes of the temple, one of the younger acolytes of the temple. My mind is blanking.
Harold from Hey
Pureblood,
Arnold.
right? So, and I think Jake knows what that means, right? Like, purebloods, Yuan-Ti purebloods are the most human of the Yuan-Ti, right? So also thereby they are the lowest, some of the lowest on the totem pole of Yuan-Ti culture, right? It is almost just an affront for this figure to be tugging on you just to begin with. But, right, like, Ezrah doesn't hear or understand what is being said necessarily, right? But this figure is pointing past all of you and shouting in panic. And Ezrah, Nightmare Speaker, right? Like, your heads turn past where you have Hexa Colli pinned, have her grappled, and you see that side of the Vrail forces have been demolished. And there's just a wave of trolls and troglodytes and other enslaved creatures rushing forward, and amongst them are Excrutha and Sarakath.
They have a cave troll.
What the hell? I thought they were fucking part. Oh no, they're probably not.
Nightmare Speaker, you know that they cannot get their hands on the soul jar. If they do, they can shatter it, they can unmake the ritual, and Hexa Colli's soul will return. The magic that had gone into it, the sacrifices here today, and the willing sacrifice of your brother's soul, who even now resides within the soul jar there for eternity, so that he can grapple Hexa Colli's soul and keep her there.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow. His sacrifice will be in vain if the soul jar is obtained by the scourges.
Right about the Guardians.
And so in that moment, you do what you believe you must. You take the still bound right to the bone naga form of Hexa Colli. Perhaps you and your companions can finish what you started at the very least here today, but the soul jar must escape. And so you unbind the satchel from your hip, toss it to this acolyte, and you command them to run and not stop running. That wave of monstrosities hits you and your allies. The Vrail charging forward, trying to protect you four, trying to make what has happened worth it. But we live in the present. We know that the Vrail failed here on this day. Sarakath, Excrutha, their minions overwhelm the four of you and your forces before you are able to finish Hexa Colli in her new not immortal form. But what you have wrought this day, we also still know, remains whole. Hexacolli's soul jar has not been found. She is still in that almost mindless, bestial bone naga form, right? The 3 are now 2. And now, as the memory begins to fade, and you all are shunted out of the consciousness of these individuals, you have a better understanding of what needs to happen in order to duplicate what the Vrail did here today.
Come on, Vominos.
And I think
Everybody, let's go.
we will go ahead and take our break there, and when we come back, we'll actually talk about what the hell that looks like and what you all would like to do going from there. So, we will be back in just a few minutes. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time. Or see you in a bit, rather.
See
Bye-bye.
you next time. See you never.
5 minutes.
Goodbye forever.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.